Welcome back, viewers. This is Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about youth rehabilitation. Have you been in a youth empowerment forum? We want to know what are these some of the empowerment forum that you've been able to go through. What are these things that you've been able to be rehabilitated from? May it be character, may it be empowerment, mention it. Send in your question, your comments across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa, or SMS line is 21144. So, before we went on a break, we were talking about how to gain a soft spot for them and seeing change. Maybe coming to you, being the bad boy that you were at that time. Now we are seeing a fine gentleman and also a teacher. Take us through the transformation period for you now, so that if I find you outside, I'm saluting you. Yes, teacher? Because now I'm wondering, am I going to say yes, teacher, and I've had all this? How do we now strike the balance and sing now this change? You said you didn't know when you changed, but now, how did you find yourself to where you were at this particular time?
So, I believe God accompanied, and He's the one who guides our lives. So, after all this, and becoming a testimony to my family, to my father, actually, I'm a big testimony to my dad. So, finding myself being a teacher in IF, it was a process because after the program, actually I went back outside, and I came to see all what we were learning was true, because about the repercussion of facing what what you do, it's real, because outside it's like an outside world from the one which you are in, because you have to face the consequences of what you do. But after learning mindset, you're being taught how to overcome that, what do I call it?
To overcome the heart.
To overcome the heart that maybe what you are feeling, to a positive, to a positive mind, So I received grace because after living for an year outside, I came back, and there was a music program which was ongoing, and since I was a kid back maybe in class 4, I used to play drums, and I found myself being the official drummer for the IYF. There was a band, and I became the drummer there. So I played drums for maybe 4-5 years, and in the programs for the weekend academy and in the IYF programs, we used to teach, because they had partnership with other campuses which are around. So I would find myself teaching college or university students music. So that's how I became a teacher, actually. I don't know my life. I don't know how my life is, because I just find myself, So right now I'm a teacher in Weekend Academy, and I'm so humbled to be like alumni. Yeah.
Wow. He is an alumni.
Coming to you, mwalimu.
Yes.
As mwalimu as you are. Pia walimu wanakuanga wadogo, ama mnakujanga mkiwa wakubwa hivi?
Hapana. You have to start from somewhere.
Give us a story then. Before here.
Yes.
Before here.
Yes.
Before you're a teacher.
Yeah.
I also, for you to be able to accommodate them with the characters,
yes,
with the behaviors. How were you wewe as a youth, so that you are able to accommodate them? You are able also to see, because you had walked that road. How were you? Give us a story behind teacher, before being a teacher and being this good person in the society.
Okay. I can talk until tomorrow, but I will try to shorten. Let me be brief because I can tell you my story until tomorrow.
Okay.
But just the way he has said, sometimes we don't realize that we are changing. But later, the world realizes that we have changed before we even realize. So before meeting IYF, I used to live a very normal life. But then my background is that I was brought up by my grandparents, not my real parents. And then from there, I learned so many things, and one of them being that it's not easy living under someone who is not like your dad or your father. Sometimes you develop this mind that you are a problem to them. So since my young life, I had that problem, that I felt that I was a burden to people. And then from there, just like him, that hypocrisy thing, I developed a very good survival mechanism of just being good, wearing a smile and making sure that I don't disturb anybody. But then inside I'm burning. I could go to the toilet and cry and then come back after wiping my tears. And that is how I grew up until high school. And then in high school, also my grandparents, after class 8, thankfully I was a very bright student in school. In fact, I remember very well, no one has broken my record in primary school until now in my village. And so after that, my grandparents were like, we cannot take you to high school because we don't have the resources and everything. It was so burdensome to me. It was a big problem to me. But then through the grace of God and well-wishers, I went through high school, though with so many problems. Then after high school, I passed, though I had developed some condition, medical problem because of the burdens that I had. I had chronic ulcers. In fact, I did not go through high school all the terms. From Form 2, second term I did not go to school. I was so sick. Form 3, the same, second time. Form 4, first time, I could not go to school, but still I performed very well. I found an opportunity in aviation college, but now I had no one to take me to the college. And so I had so many burdens and the wounds in my heart. So when you think about your relatives, you are becoming a problem. You think about the society, it's a big problem.
Let me ask you and interrupt you.
Yes.
Maybe. When you say, when you look at your family and the society, you feel like you are a burden to them and you don't want to add up to the same.
Yeah.
Is it because they have told you, or is it something that you've just built inside you?
Okay, at some point I could see.
So it's action speaks louder than words.
Yeah. Some of these things do happen. I could see, but stomach them, and then now start being suspicious, even to those who have not shown me. Start being suspicious. Now I'm a problem to everybody. Yeah. So when you go to someone, even though they want to break your desire, like uncle, can you buy me a shirt? No, I don't have money. Then what do you feel? Oh, because I'm not your son, you cannot buy me a shirt, even though maybe he doesn't have money. So I developed that mind in me, and from there it really dealt me badly. And so after this, I came to the city also to search, because now my mom was back at home. Now after she tried to look for greener pastures while I was a youngster, she could not get. Then she went back home empty-handed. Now I'm the one to take care of her at that young age, and I have no employment, I have nothing. I found myself in the Kibera slums down there, suffering from there. So it was a very big problem. So I tried to move here and there, trying to find something to do, Vibarua and everything. But at some point, I was hardworking. So ningefanya any kind of a job that came my way, and as I tried to further my education and everything. But then one time I felt, because I had almost also given up on matters God. I felt, God, there are some people who God can
You've chosen
bless,
to
yeah,
bless, and
and there
that's
are
your
those others who are
forget.
just there. So I put myself in that category of those people who cannot be used by God, following my background and what I saw in my family. And there are problem after problem, death after death, poverty after poverty. My family was an example of a very good poverty story. So then I had given up on God. Now, God, there are those people you bless. And so after this, when I came to Nairobi, I thought about God one day, and I thought I should go to church, and maybe God will help me. But then I moved to so many churches trying to find peace, but there was no peace in my life. But then one day a friend introduced me to IYF, and this is how I came to meet IYF, and I was taught the world of the heart, the world of the wounds of the heart.
I have a question now.
Yes.
That you've mentioned the wounds of the heart. As you're subjecting yourself to all this, or being subjected to by the family, friends, and the society at large, didn't you know that you're going through traumas simply because you're from the village and you're just coming in and being used to staying with your grandparents? To you, it's not trauma, it's normal life. How is it at that time? Did you know or did you not know?
While I was still living with my people?
No, when you're still that young, before you came to meet IYF, did you know that the challenges that you are going through are traumas that you're facing as a young one? Or you just didn't name them to be traumas, they're just cycle of life and it's life, let's move on?
Actually, it was a big confusion in my life. I didn't know how to call them. I just felt it was bad luck to me. Yeah, life was just bad luck to me.
Still a kid.
Yeah. I just felt that this fate befell me and I cannot come out of it, so I accepted like that.
Now that you had set matters to do with God aside, how now do you come to love God, to know God, and to be a man of God?
A man of God. Oh yes. Oh, I love that because after being introduced to IYF, first of all, I was taught on how to heal the wounds, my wounds, and from here, I was introduced to another Davis, another me. So I faced that another Davis. Then I realized that there are so many gears in my mind that have been asleep. So thankfully to IYF, I was taught how to overcome myself, the former me, knowing that all these things happened for good. And then from there, that is when I was now introduced to who? To God.
Okay.
Then there is a small story in the Bible about Joseph. That is the story that now revived my hope. Yeah, Joseph went through so many problems, so many troubles, but in the end he became a prime minister. So first of all, there was this confusion. You mean it is God who took me through all these problems? He is not a merciful God? Yeah, but later I came to realize that it was never a curse, it was a blessing. It was a route that God had prepared for me, maybe to let me meet IYF, and also through IYF I can be an example to other young people who feel that they have lost hope.
Wow.
Yes, and that is how I happen to be here. Yes.
Wow. Are you not having incredible stories? But I'm being told you're running out of time. So maybe briefly, in less than a minute, we can have your parting shot so that we can unwind this. Starting with you. What is your parting shot?
I believe God is the one who is guiding our lives. And talking as a young youth, I believe that you don't need to like force yourself to change. Change will come after you receive God or you receive Jesus in your heart, because your heart won't be empty. You'll be having Jesus, and in Jesus there is hope. Thank you.
Wow. And do you? What is your parting shot and also maybe word of advice to the youth?
I am a living testimony. One day I thought that there's nothing that can come out of me completely. But now, as I speak now, I'm a great teacher in the society, and also I'm a CEO of a very big company. And so I believe that anyone can become what they wish to be. The only thing is that you change your mindset kidogo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming and honoring our call and for teaching us a lot when it comes to matter, youth empowerment, and also changing our minds and heart. At least that is my take home. Viewers, I hope you've learned as much as I have. I hope you've taken notes. Let's continue this conversation offline across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.